Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel is all about property investing and how to make money using property and leveraging that to make yourself financially free. Now, this video is all about should you be investing in property right now? There's so much doom and gloom out there. Interest rates are going up, prices are going down, property prices are going down, rents are going up, inflation, all of this stuff is really confusing. But I want to talk to you today about should you be investing right now. So make sure you strap in. And before we jump into this content, make sure you smash the like button over there. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification while you're there as well. We're on the way to 100,000 views this month. And you could be the one view that gets us there. So, investing in property. Should you be doing it right now? Well, I think you should. Now, the reason for that is I think if you're buying a new deal right now, you're actually at slight advantage over an existing landlord. You see, the problem is landlords like myself, we all bought properties at ultra low interest rates. And when we bought those, some of us, there were none of these tax problems that you've got right now. So an existing landlord has a problem with something called Section 24. So that existing landlord, when he gets his rent, he or she gets their rent, when they get their rent, they will pay tax on the gross amount of rent. So let's just say they get £1,000 in rent, they're going to pay tax on that £1,000. Now the new person coming in can buy in a limited company. And they have the advantage that when they get their £1,000 rent, they can deduct expenses, maybe broadband, mileage, mobile phone bill, mortgage payments. They can deduct all of these expenses before they get their tax bill. Now, what might happen, and very often does happen, is the person buying in a company will pay a quarter of the tax that the person buying in their personal name does. So it's way more tax efficient and you have that advantage. Now, the existing landlord, he has a problem. They have a problem to take that property that they own in their personal name and move it into a company. They have to pay stamp duty, they have to pay capital gains tax, they have to pay mortgage brokers, they might get a worse mortgage deal. There's so many costs, they can't do that. Right, so they're at a real disadvantage. So new people coming into the market can buy in a limited company. That's one massive advantage. The next is interest rates. So, what do I mean by that? Well, interest rates have gone up 14 times in a row at the time of recording this video. That's crazy. 14 times. Now, when you buy a property as an investment, you'll buy on interest only. Now, what that means is that, let's just say, for example, you bought a 100 grand property and the interest could have been at 2%, right? So over a year, you would pay £2,000 in your mortgage payment. Now, here's where the problem lies. Now, the landlord, if they bought that 100 grand property, let's just say the interest rate is at 6%, they're now paying £6,000 a year in mortgage payments. Triple the mortgage payment. And there's a lot of people that bought a deal on 2%, and now they're going to struggle to get it to stack up at 6%. So that's a big disadvantage that you've got. Now, when you buy that deal today, this property won't be 100 grand. Or if you look for deals that are distressed sellers that want to sell that property fast, you will get that deal significantly less. And so let's just say you got that property for 70k, right? Now, you kind of know what your rate is, right? You know what your rate is. I'm terrible at maths. So let's just say that you've got that property at 70 grand you know what your interest payments are going to be. So let's just say you pay 5k a year in interest, right? Now, here's the advantage that you've got today. And this is a big advantage. The rates currently sit on buy-to-let mortgages around 6%. It is very, very unlikely that your payments will triple. In order for that to happen now, the interest rate would need to go to 18%. 18%. So you're near a peak of the interest rates. Now, there are deals out there to be had at the moment, and we're starting to see deals. And so in 2020, 21 and 22, I bought a number of investments, but every single one of them was really hard to come by. Really, really hard to find good deals in the market. And that was because people had money. Interest rates were crazy low. Money was easy to come by. People had furlough pay. They had bounce back loans. They weren't going out so much. They weren't going on holiday. So there was a lot of cash around. And so what people did was invest in property. And I looked at auctions, and houses that were on for 100 grand that should have gone for 120 were going for 150 or 160. The same as they would with an estate agent. It was absolutely crazy times. So now there are deals around. So you could get a 100 grand house quite easily for 70 or 60. Now, your mortgage payments are going to be way closer right now to what the ultimate long-term interest rates are going to be. Now, where I think they're going to go is from 6 down to 4. But I don't think that's going to happen quickly. I think you're going to wait at least a year for that to happen. So there are going to be buyers in the market right now that need to sell. Let's talk about a deal that I'm doing right now. So I'm buying a property through probate at the moment. And the property was listed for 170 grand, right? And it was listed for a while. No one was buying that property. And I initially looked at that property. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I tried to buy it on something called a lease option. And that's where we agree a price today, but we complete on that transaction in 7 years from now. That allows that 100 grand property to lose 20 grand in value because the market is potentially going to drop. It allows it to go back up, and it allows me to make money on rent during that time as well. And I would pay them a fee as well, a monthly fee, a smaller amount of rent each month. Now, that property, I was watching it for a while. It then went down to 140. And we offered 118. They said no, but they have said yes. And we're going through the legals now on this at 120. So that's what I mean. Is it a good time to buy property right now? Yes. 120 for a property in Dorking that sold for 120 in 2013, right? There is no way that that property is not worth more than £120,000, even if the market drops or corrects. Now, why would somebody want to sell to me that much discounted that property? Well, here's why. Because they've inherited that property and they want that property gone. They've had it sitting on the market for months and it hasn't sold because it's been an uncertain market. They want cash. They want to use that inheritance to do other things. They want to go on a nice holiday. They want to pay down their mortgage. They've got lots of things that they want to use that money for. And so they can't just sit there. And if they keep it at this higher price, which I don't think it's worth 170, I think it's probably worth 150 as it is. When we refurb it, probably 165, it will go up in value too. So they can sit there and wait for that all they want, but the market is so slow. There's not enough buyers coming into the market right now that they would rather take a lower offer that's certain and fast and get that cash in the bank, and so they can use that for whatever they want. And there's going to be tons of people like that that aren't emotionally attached to the property. They're more looking for the money because they need it for certain reasons. We're looking at other deals at the moment. We're looking at a deal up north where it's a huge property. It's 2 houses together. It's got planning permission to turn it into 3 flats. The other side is an HMO. That property, the person has a debt of around 120 grand. They've had to put more into it, but they just want to get their debt cleared. They're struggling to service the debt. They've got other things that they need to focus on. So they want someone to come in and buy it off them, get that debt cleared for them, and then they can just walk away from that. So these types of deals are available in today's market. So my point is that yes, you can buy right now. My second point is that buying now is actually a bit an advantage because you're buying ultimately where the interest rates are going to go up. So you can negotiate that deal so the deal stacks up, it's going to cash flow. No lender's going to lend you money anyway unless you're making profit on the deal. And ultimately, when interest rates go down, you'll make even more profit on that deal. It's all about finding the right type of deal. And that means it does work in today's market. There are so many people in the comments on this channel that say they're waiting for the market to bottom out. It might bottom out in 2 months. It might bottom out in a year. No one can be for sure for certain, but that's the whole market. I know that this 170 grand listing is not going to go lower than 120,000, even when the market bottoms out. That is just not going to happen. We're not going to see a flat sold for less than the 2008 prices. It's just not happening in this area. It might, but I still think it's a good deal. It stacks up very, very well. So let me know your thoughts on this. Would you buy in today's market if a good deal came along? Smash the like button as well. Subscribe if you didn't already. Help us get to 100,000 views by watching this video as well right here.